Hello internet, and today it's Wednesday, so this is going to be the first video starting off on my new schedule where I do list-based videos on Wednesday. So we're going to do a tag, and since it's the new year and I really never had a chance to do that whole week of things about 2017 that I liked, things that I plan to do in 2018, I thought it'd be really fun to do some New Year's tags. So I'm going to do the New Year's book tag, and these are just going to be my 2018-2017 wrap-up things, video stuff that I keep seeing floating around and have really been enjoying. So I hope this tag gives you enough information about what I'm planning to do in the new year. So the first question on this New Year's book tag is my Goodreads goal. It's currently set at 120 books. The reason why is because I have 120 unread books at the moment, or at least I did when I counted. It's still around the same number because I bought some more books even though I read some books. So it evens out, but 120 because I just want to get done with a TBR. I'm not going to stop buying books, but I want to be sure that I'm actually reading the books I do have because I bought them for a reason, so I might as well read them to see if I actually like them. Question number 2. 5 books that you didn't get to in 2017, but that you would like to get to in 2018. Alright, so I have a stack of 5 here. The first one, if I can flip it around, I'm holding these other ones, but the first one is the Trilogy of Two by Juman Malfoul. Or maybe that's Malfoy. No, Malfoul. But this is a book about twins, and they end up getting wrapped up in this little, this old lady comes and visits them or something, and they end up discovering that their violin playing can, levitate their audience, so they have some sort of power that they can use through their music, and it just sounded so cool. So I really want to read this, but I've just been carrying it around and not reading it, so gotta fix that. Next 2 books are out of order, but Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab, This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. So this is the first book. I'm currently trying to read these books. I borrowed the audiobook from my library, but I had to be placed on hold for both books, and the second book came off of hold before this one. So I'm hoping that this book, the persons who are reading it, will be done soon so that I can read it, because I really want to read these, and I don't want to go back on hold because I would have to go back to being 20th in line to read them. And I've decided I want to read them on audiobook, so yeah, but they will be read this year. If these people could hurry up and give me a copy of the audiobook and stop taking 3 days in a year, I would be great. The next book I want to read is Spontaneous by Aaron Starmer. I bought this one on a whim because it sounded interesting. It's about a little town and the teenagers start randomly combusting, just blowing up spontaneously. And I just wanted to meet these characters and see whether or not I wanted them to blow up. So yeah, that's why I bought this book. And then the last one, I'm kind of ashamed that I haven't read because I bought this book right around the time that it came out and everyone was talking about it, and that's The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. And yeah, I know I haven't read it, and it seems like everyone else has and really love it, and I want to read it and really love it, but I haven't yet, and I just feel horrible about the whole thing. So here I am holding this book that I didn't read in 2017, but I'm going to read in 2018 so I can see what it's like. Question number 4. What genre do you want to read more of in 2018? I've said this before, but I want to get back into sci-fi and reading more sci-fi. Sci-fi is not a genre that I know what I like and don't like. I'm usually pretty good at determining books that I know I will enjoy, at least in some aspect. So I tend to gravitate towards fantasy and even contemporary and all the other non-sci-fi genres because I've kind of worked my way through what I know I like and don't like. But with sci-fi, I know I like sci-fi, but I'm not quite sure what types of sci-fi I enjoy. So it's a lot harder for me to purchase things. Plus, as I've realized lately, I actually do read a decent amount of sci-fi. Not as much as I read fantasy, but I read a decent amount. But I'm less likely to be aware of when I'm reading a sci-fi book, because for some reason it just doesn't stick out to me and click with me as easily that I'm reading a sci-fi book. I don't know why. It just seems so normal to me, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this is a world. Like, I read Scythe by Neil Shusterman, and it wasn't until I watched another booktuber talking about the book and they mentioned it was a sci-fi book that I realized it was a sci-fi book. So sci-fi is something that I do pick up, but I'm not fully aware I am, and I just kind of assume that I don't read, even though I probably read more than I actually am aware of, if that makes any sense. Question number 4. 3 non-book related goals that you have for 2018. The first one is my thesis, because I'm graduating. Hopefully I'm graduating. I need to write that thesis so that I can graduate. My thesis, in case you're curious and you haven't heard me talk about this before, is about literature and how literature has an empathic ability to cross cultures so that a reader can learn more about another culture and learn how to be more open-minded through the use of literature, because all humans have the same base emotions, so it doesn't matter the cultural differences between humans, because since we have all the same emotions, we can kind of cross those cultural gaps and get along better. So everyone should read more, and that's basically my thesis. But I have to write all 20 to 30 pages of it, and I haven't yet. Instead, I'm making videos talking about doing it because I really don't want to, and I'm a really great procrastinator. Second one is not to become a murderer. I know that seems pretty simple, but you would not know how hard that is sometimes. I just not a fan of humanity on most days. I don't like humanity, but I like certain people. So let's just hope that this is another good year for me and I don't commit murder in any sense of the word, because I have a good track record so far and I kind of want to keep it that way. And the last goal that I have for 2018 is I want to own a cactus. I really like cactuses. I currently own an aloe vera plant and I'm doing pretty good with it. Like, I haven't murdered it, you know, keeping to those goals. But I want a cactus as well because I think cactuses look cool. So yeah, I want a cactus. It's that simple. I'm aspiring to be a lot in 2018, as you can tell. Question number 5, a book that you've had forever and still need to read. I'm going to go with The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. This is a part of the Chaos Walking series. It's book 1. I bought these around the beginning of my booktube career, which was like a year and a half ago. And I really was interested in it. I want to read it, but like whenever I see it around on like book related communities, people tend to like talk like, oh, it was okay, but this and that, and like I always try to click away because it was a book series I bought because I was excited to read it, and I don't want other people's opinions to taint what I think about it, and I want to kind of go in fresh and not with any expectations. But I'm kind of really scared because if everyone is pretty meh about it, then will I be pretty meh about it? And I don't go out seeking books that I don't like to read. So I'm hoping that I at least semi-enjoy this book enough that it does enough good things that I can forgive it for whatever bad things it does. So yeah, it's something I want to read in 2018, but I'm super nervous to. The last question on this book tag is one word for 2018, and I'm going with bookish. And that's going to seem really simple, but let me explain. So I'm going with bookish because my whole life revolves around books. Like, they're the one thing that makes me happy. They're one thing that I love more than anything else in the world. I could honestly say I care a lot more about my books than most people I know, and that might seem a little weird to some people, but it's perfectly normal for me. And I've come to realize during my college career and trying to figure out like different career paths, I just want to live with books. Like, I want my life to consist of books, reading them, working with them, and I want my career path in the future to be connected to the publishing industry. I'm hoping to one day eventually become a literary agent. It just seems like such a fun, cool job that I would love to have, but I know I have to be in the publishing agency in some sort of aspect for a couple years before I can even attempt to get a job like literary agent. So I'm hoping that in 2018, by the time I graduate, like at least by the end of it, I'm doing something that deals with books and making a career out of it like I have always wanted to, because it's the one thing I know I could do for the rest of my life and never be sad about it. So 2018, hopefully it will be bookish. Comment down below if you have any other tags you want me to do in the coming weeks so I can compile a list of potential tags or potential lists that you want me to do on Wednesdays. And if you're liking this new schedule, I know it's the first week and it's still kind of really new, but I would like your feedback just to make sure that like it's making sense, right? And it's working out, because it feels like it's working for me, but again, it's the first week, so I don't know yet. So if you like what you're seeing here and you want to continue to see more, click all those bunnies down below, and goodbye, internet.